I grew up in rural Kentucky, in a house that had been in my family for generations. It was old and creaky, and at night, it came alive with strange noises. Of course, we attributed it to the house settling or the wind, but what happened during the long summer of 2022 changed that perception forever. I was home from college for the summer break. My bedroom was upstairs, where the heat was stifling, but it was my space. The strange noises started the first night I was back. A subtle scratching sound behind the walls, almost like a mouse, yet somehow different. Too consistent, too rhythmic. At first, I thought nothing of it. We'd always had critters, and I'd grown used to their noises. But as nights turned into weeks, the sounds grew more insistent, more desperate. One night, as I lay awake, straining my ears to make out the sound, it changed. From scratching to thumping, rhythmic and unceasing. I felt a chill run down my spine, my heart beating in sync with the unknown force behind the wall. I gathered my courage and pressed my ear to the wall, trying to identify the source. The wall was oddly cold, and as I listened, I heard something that made my blood run cold. A low, moaning sound, almost like a whimper. That's when the terror set in. This wasn't an animal. It was something else, something inhuman. I told my parents, but they brushed it off as my wild imagination. However, the noises continued, growing louder each night. I could barely sleep, the thumping and whimpering echoing in my mind even when the house was quiet. Soon I began to feel a strange presence, a heaviness in the room, an unseen pair of eyes always watching. Desperate for answers, I decided to investigate. I found an old blueprint of the house in the attic. It revealed a hidden room right behind my bedroom wall. It had been sealed off years ago. Why? No one seemed to know. Equipped with a hammer and driven by both fear and curiosity, I broke through the wall one sweltering afternoon. Dust flew everywhere, and when it settled, I found myself staring at a small, musty room. It was empty except for a wooden chair facing a dark, stained wall. Overwhelmed by a sense of dread, I stepped into the room. Suddenly, the temperature dropped, my breath forming small clouds in the stifling summer heat. I felt a gust of wind, and the door behind me slammed shut. In the eerie silence that followed, I heard it again, the thumping, the scratching, the whimpering. Only now, it was all around me, closing in. It was deafening, and I clapped my hands over my ears, dropping to my knees. A voice echoed in the room, a voice full of sorrow and pain, whispering my name. I turned around and found myself looking into the hollow eyes of a ghostly figure. It was thin and ragged, its face a mask of eternal torment. It reached out to me, mouthing a silent plea before disappearing into the darkness. I stumbled out of the room, breathless and terrified. My parents found me on the floor, white as a sheet and shaking. After that, the strange noises stopped. The house was quiet, the presence gone. We sealed the room again, and I moved to the guest bedroom downstairs. But the memory of that ghostly figure stayed with me, a chilling reminder of the summer of 2022 and the strange noises that came from the walls at night. Every old house has its secrets, but I learned the hard way that some secrets are better left undiscovered. I'll always wonder what happened in that sealed room, but I'm not sure I ever want to know the real story. The Kentucky ghost story, my scary story, is still a part of me, a chilling piece of my past I can never forget.